down like to winning by the skin of their teeth, where like it would either be a 1v1 or a 2v1 last fight. Definitely some exciting stuff to watch. What do you say?
Yeah, very close maps. It'll be interesting to see how Hubris Hampter comes into this game after not playing since Friday.
Hubris Hampter was one of the earliest teams to try and get a free ticket to the semifinals. But the Council have definitely worked their way up here. Like playing what? The most games was like 4 or 5 games, coming in with 2 losses and 2 straight up 3-0s yesterday.
Exactly. Big comeback.
Yep. And as this is a charity tournament, the Council here are playing for the UNICEF relief efforts in India, which is definitely a great cause. And the Hubris Hampter are playing for the Sick Kids Foundation. And yeah, but enough with that. Enough with me rambling on, as the game is about to begin. Here on the Hubris Hampters, we have Weeaboo filling in for Pink Lions. Both amazing hit scan players, and I don't know if it's really going to make a difference here, but we'll see as the game starts. The Council running their usual death ball here with a Hanzo Reaper, and the Hubris Hampters, of course, running another death ball, but with a Genji Widow, which might be an odd choice. And as I speaking of Widows, Cable taking out Weeaboo right off the bat on the high ground. Immort's coming in from the Council, but unable to. Oh, sorry about that. That completely reversed. It completely reversed my mind. They completely. That immortality just kept everyone alive so well. With 2 HP, somehow Drillbit just survived.
Yeah, really smart rotation through that right room to avoid that Widow damage.
Yep, just completely making me eat my words. I saw the health pool, and I thought everyone on the Council was just about to die. And I spoke before I even saw what happened, but the Council definitely brought it back last second. But here on the board, what else do we have for this next upcoming fight, Cap?
Drill's almost got Shatter, but Papa's not far behind.
Man, that's about it. It's going to be a Ryan duel, I see, of the centuries. As a Drill already swinging in, has his Shatter ready, and so does Papophobic. Window and Dragon Strike coming out from the side of the Council, kind of just forcing the Hubris Hampters back. And no progress really being made here in the kill feed. A little trades coming here left and right as Weeaboo and Korn have been picked off. Nano coming in onto Papophobic, comes in swinging about, but Drillbit with an amazing executed Shatter, getting both the Genji of the Hubris Hampters and Papophobic knocked onto the ground. 2, 3, 4 picks coming in here from the Council as they end up rolling this fight. Eviscerator getting out with a pick onto Cable, saying, if I'm going down, I am taking you with me. Except Eviscerator actually ends up leaving the fight alive.
Yeah, that'll be a big stagger on Cable.
Yeah, without your off-tank, the Council are backing up and playing a bit more passively on the site, as the Hubris Hampters are already regrouped and are ready to jump into this next fight already. Ults are available for both teams, and we have to see what happens this next fight. Speaking of ults, both the Transcendence and the Blade popped from the side of the Hubris Hampters. A-Side getting the better of Horn, and Gubs falls to Ruby. A full-on brawl happening on point as Weeaboo pops a duplicate onto the Ryan. And the Council kind of saving their ults here, it looks like, this fight, as no ults have been popped on the side of the Council, whereas the Hubris Hampters kind of just popping everything they have. 3 ults down in one fight, one for the Hubris Hampters, 99-0 on the clock. What a fight that was, Ready.
Yeah, they had to win that there, and it's a big investment, but they're coming close to that Nano, and that'll help them build up some more ults, hopefully in time to deal with the Council's flurry of ults coming at them.
And what do you think? What do you think the Hubris Hampters really have to do here to actually win this next upcoming fight?
Gonna give it a Nano to Papa, and hope he can build a Shatter in time for Ruby's bomb, and hopefully they'll get the advantage.
No, that sounds like a fair plan. As the Council popping the Diva Bomb of their own, Cable out of mech, Papophobic immediately charges and takes Cable out. But Papophobic and A-Side fall from that. Shatter coming out here from Drillbit doesn't get much value, but ends up securing their presence on point. Huge anti coming in here from Eviscerator, but will it? And yes, it will be enough actually, as it starts driving the Council off of the point. But now it comes down to a 3v2. The Council coming out on top here, it looks like, as the only person left on the side of the Hubris Hampters is Papophobic and Ruby. A-Side coming back with a recontest, and both teams kind of just having this little staggered fight, little skirmish on the point. Gubs getting the better of A-Side, and Darth Ackley picking off Papophobic on site here. So it's just a really drawn out stagger fight for the Hubris Hampters. Kind of swing both ways, but now as the overtime ticker is in, Weeaboo trying his best to keep this point alive, trying to win this round, but he unfortunately falls to a well-placed shot by Gubs. A-Side coming with the Blade was unfortunately right in front of a window, and that Genji gets eviscerated, no pun intended.
No, very good Yeah, very good round. Very good fight there. That big ult I was talking about, that nano, was unfortunately not in time to save either Papaphobic or the Diva, as a nano went on right as the Diva got demacked. Ruby, unfortunately, unable to use that nano that was applied.
I mean, yeah, that fight was just, I feel like, really messy as both sides were just kind of throwing everything they had at it. So the fight got really sketchy at times where either the Hubris Hampters would be up by 1 or 2 or the Council would be up by 1 or 2, and they never really got to an equilibrium, I'd say, or like a roll on either side.
No, for sure, but Darth was in the back as well, making those picks to even that fight up and keep it at that scrappy level.
And as the doors open, we do have some swaps here. What do you really notice here, Cap Ready?
Noticing the Ashe on the Hubris Hampter side, as well as the Ruby on the Zarya. That'll be interesting in this close quarter fight.
Definitely. And as the teams roll out, the Council deciding to go straight to point here, but getting their first point presence. But A-side done a bit of a flank with a 1v1 against Cable. Cable being forced to back out, and as that's going on, Weevil gets the pick onto Khan. This could be what the Hubris Hampters need to get this early fight win here. But I'm not going to speak too soon, as the Hubris Hampters are having trouble making it up to this point, as Cable gets a pick onto A-side, and Gubs getting the better of Weevil and Papaphobic with these Hanzo vlogs. And speaking of the devil, and he shall appear, as Gubs gets a huge 3k. The Gubs hacks are clearly on today.
I have no idea how Drill lived through that. He was antied and down to less than a tick on his health bar, but he's managed to stay up and keep his team shielded, and the team put in the damage.
I mean, the DM from Cable definitely came in clutch there, I feel like. Especially since they had no bubble to cleanse the anti or more to keep him alive. But yeah, this upcoming fight, Gubs gets an early pick on the A side once again. And both the Dragon and the Coalescence coming out here from the Council, wiping this fight clean. But yeah, what would you say about the ults here at this point? As, you know, the ticker's at 40-0. And the ult also seem to favor the Council. I don't really know what's going to happen in this upcoming fight. What do you think, Cap?
Yeah, both tank ults as well as the Death Blossom for the Council. They did a lot of damage and a lot of pressure on Papaphobic to block these ults and give their team a chance. But you got the Nano and the Shatter, so we'll see how they use that.
Speaking of Shatter, a big boop coming up here from Khan and Cable. Booping drove into the air, giving Papaphobic another second to block the Shatter and the Diva Bomb. Nano coming out onto Papaphobic allows him to pin Joven into a wall. And yeah, that wipes 3 members of the Council clean. A few picks coming in here from the members of the Council. Gubs trying his best to stay alive to keep this ticker running, but is unable to as he falls to the capable hands of Viscerator. And yeah, the point has flipped over to the side of the Hubris Hampters.
Yeah, and crucially before that 85% mark, so they'll find themselves a chance to retake if they do it. Papaphobic did a great job of blocking both those ults, like I had talked about right before the fight.
I mean, you called it, but now Darth on his classic fare, this might swing things around for the Council once again, as the Hubris Hampters only have Weeble on his opposing high ground to deal with, and Darth, pretty much an expert of dealing with his scans on Pharah. But as we roll in here, the Council trying to make their way onto point, but the Hubris Hampters kind of this rock solid defense. And speaking of that rock solid defense, I guess the Council is going to use every single ult they have in the bank to make it onto point. A barrage of ults coming out here from both sides. But it seems like the Hubris Hampters are coming out on top, using that grab right at the end here. Huge grab from Ruby, getting 5 of the Council members in it. And yeah, this seems like a clean slate for ults for the Hubris Hampters. Other than this Nano, they're not going to have much to work with. What do you say?
No, for sure. And that Nano will have to be used to get someone an ult because the Council's coming back with Shatter and Dragons, and they're pretty close to the bomb. However, they did use both support ults, and now on the Mercy, they give that Dark Backley some boost.
And Cable out of mech early this fight, and the Shadow coming out from Joven does knock Ruby and A-Side onto the ground. Oh, that massive Dragon from Gubs taking out both A-Side and Papaphobic. The Council getting a firm presence on point here as the rest of the staggered members of Hubris Hampter try to make their ways back to spawn. But Weewu takes a bit of a shortcut with the help of a log from Gubs here.
Yeah, big slam, big dragons.
Yeah, there's some huge ult combos coming out here. But it doesn't look like either side has many ults coming into this next fight. And as I say next fight, Corn is sleeping on the ground as the rest of the Hubris Hampters and the Council members make their way onto point. The Council members taking note of that slept Mora and using the lack of heals to kind of take care of the rest of their team here. as that's a team wipe for the Hubris Hampters.
That's so much healing off the field with that sleep on the corn. It's gonna be a last fight territory with a bunch of ults on each side.
I mean, this is definitely last fight for both teams, no matter what happens here. So I'm gonna assume this is gonna be an ult fiesta for this upcoming fight.
Yeah, we'll see if they can handle both the barrage and the bomb. Darth in a sneaky spot up top.
Darth in a sneaky spot right above the point here, but I think A Saeed spots him out, but nope, it gets moved off the high ground. Diva Bomb coming in from Cable. Both teams kind of skirmishing on the point. Strata coming in from Papaphobic. Reaper being popped from A side, and the barrage coming from Darth Athlete. But unfortunately, the Darth cannot touch the point as the rest of the members of the Hubris Hampters kind of wipe house. Darth being the only one alive there after popping his barrage had to be the one to touch point there, but there were so many just sheer bodies on point from the side of the Hubris Hampters that Darth was unable to touch.
Yeah, and Ruby spotted him out and caught that barrage and nullified that ult completely. That's a really good play there.
And yeah, definitely huge plays coming out here from both sides. But yeah, what do you think's gonna happen this upcoming round? I can't really predict anything. It's like a 1-1 on both sides, and it's been 99% across the board both times.
Yeah, it's gonna be close, but a few more boops looking on the Hubris Hampter side than the Council. So we'll have to watch that well.
Yeah, and as you see that Khan has swapped off the Lucio and onto the Mercy once again. A Pharmacy coming up from both sides here actually. As both Pharaohs kind of just spamming down onto point. Maybe some air duels coming out here in a second, but for now everything seems relatively peaceful. But as both teams make their way onto point, it's kind of just a long range poke fight. The slam from Joba coming in and actually taking out Weeaboo with the assistance of his team. A nice coordinated play there coming up from the Council. But as I speak, Ruby gets a nice hook onto Gubbs, getting the better of him. But now both teams are kind of just in this little stalemate here, where you know, they're allowing the Pharaohs to do their work. And as I say, doing their work, A side takes out Horn. But once again, both teams just kind of looking for the little openings here, as Darth is going deep into the side of the Hubris Hampters, trying to pick off Weeaboo, but is unable to, as a well-placed rocket from A side will shut that Pharah down, and the rest of Hubris Hampters just get wiped off the point here. But yeah, Gubbs kind of being forced to back up, go back to spawn, maybe get another regroup here before this next upcoming fight. But oh, that was a nice 2-tap from Gubbs, taking out A side out of the air. Adversary though getting the res on him despite the boot from Darth Ackley. And it looks like both teams are in even state to fight here as the Council are making their way onto the point. Nano coming out here onto Papaphobic, but he is antied, and he might just end up getting taken out here. But no, he barely makes it out with his life. As Poke coming in from all sides, they're really aggressing onto Papaphobic here, as he's just kind of swinging about. Cable with the Diva Bomb, taking out Papaphobic as that well-placed charge from Drobit barely catches him off guard. Khan with the Mercy pistols, going off on A side, who ends up committing Sudoku from that rocket there. Weeaboo using his zoning high noon on the site. The rest of the Council members kind of spread out across the entirety of the map, as Darth is just kind of flying his way back to his team.
Yeah, that high noon buys a lot of time for our ICE to get back on point, and the time over 60 is getting really tight for the Council.
I mean, yeah, but look at these ults coming out here from both sides. And both these teams, not big fans of holding ults as we've seen. And the Shatter comes out here from Drobit, not getting much value. But then, oh my, the whole hog Shatter coming out here from the side of the Hubris Hampters. The barrage will have something to say about that as Ruby gets taken out mid-whole hog. But unfortunately that will not be enough as the rest of the Hubris Hampters just kind of clean house with just sheer amounts of damage. Harbor doing an insane amount of work with these antis this round. If you haven't noticed, but Harbor and Eviscerator actually kind of swapped around roles, where Har took over the role of the Ana and Eviscerator swapping over to the Mercy this round. But yeah, this fight's kind of just really slow, but oh, Drobit with the touch has to sacrifice his own life. But the Bob comes in here from Gubbs, almost taking out A-Side, but a well-placed hook from Ruby gets him off the map. Khan boops that Nano Roadhog straight off. And it's just kind of an ult fight here, as both teams are popping everything they have. We were making the swap onto the Widow as the Council have taken over this point. Papaphobic running, charging out for his life, but Cable does not let him go.
That was a huge boop onto the Roadhog. Ruby had to go for that bomb, push him up and pull him into the well, but unfortunately put him in a dangerous spot. Put them in a dangerous spot to get boot themselves off the map.
I mean, yeah, going from a 7v6 to a 6v5 isn't necessarily the best. But yeah, here as the tick is going up for the council, the members of the Hubris Hampters are making their way onto point, but Cable gets caught off in their backline, taken out of mech, and vice versa. Same thing with Pavlovic, all on the other side of the map, where he ends up going alone before his team. But the Hubris Hampters have the picks here and are going to be making their presence on point known as Weebu gets the better of Gups, the well-placed shot straight to the dome. The rest of the members of the council are trying their best to stall here as Khan gets a massive boop onto Ruby once again. And Papaphobic taking a trip across the point with A-Side's impressive barrage, getting both Korn and Drobit. Oh, what a nasty shot from Weebu, taking that burn right out of the sky. But now all we have left here is Gubs on point as Tracer, trying to stall it out, but unfortunately falls. Drobit, can he make it back? No, he cannot, and that will be map 1 to the Hubris Hampters.
Really close
Both
fights.
teams here, yeah. I feel like the Hubris Hampters definitely figured out what they were doing near the end of that second map. Where, other than that, I mean, the Council had a pretty firm presence for most of the first half of that match. But I don't really know what made it so that the Hubris Hampters kind of completely 180 how they were playing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's that inclusion of A-Side on the Pharah, which really helped them out. But even A-Side's Reaper just absolutely wiped house.
Yeah, and even in that play, you can see just how close they were to falling off the map from the boop, and that could have turned that fight around. That's how close this map was.
Yeah, definitely. Every single pick makes so much of a difference. Even just because most of the fights ended up being won by the skin of their teeth, like respawns were definitely, I'd say 90% of each fight. Yeah, it was definitely a massacre.
Yeah, and that last fight, Drill unfortunately hit the edge of the wall of a pin before Papaphobia went down, so could have put Papaphobia in an even worse spot and maybe not prevented the res. Just caught the lip of the wall, made a big difference.
That's unfortunate. I would have loved to seen a little bit more cliff charging, especially after yesterday. But as we get the next map loaded in, which appears to be Dorado, which I guess would be the council's choice here as the teams swap sides. But yeah, why don't we go over a little bit of the stats from previous games, at least from yesterday, for both the teams. What do you say, Cap?
For sure, it sounds like a great idea. A lot of interesting stats coming from these really awesome players.
I mean, yeah, I mean, on the side of the council, we have Drillbit. Just like from the past few days, Drillbit's Ryan has been absolutely going off with over 8k damage per 10 minutes and over 21 elims every 10 minutes, which is just insane stats for Reinhardt to have. Like, the amount of damage and the aggression coming out from Drobit over the past few days has just been insane, especially in the games yesterday against the OK Boomers and it was the Jazz Hands, right?
Yep.
And especially, yeah, they got 0-2'd by Jazz Hands a few days on Friday, and then yesterday they just came back 3-0'd both Jazz Hands and OK Boomers, which I guess is comes in with a lot of help from Drillbit.
Yeah, no, Drill is a really aggressive tank, and even with those offensive stats that you mentioned, he still is at 21,000 damage blocked per 10 minutes, so still putting that defensive work.
That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. But yeah, with only like less than a death per minute, even with those insane types of damage stats, insane aggression coming out here, and of course he has played the hero for over, what was it, like an hour and a half over the past just few days. Which, I mean, makes sense. He does often go, like, you know, the team mostly relies on that Ryan strat. But on the side of the Hubris Hampters, we have, I'd say, the first support player, or like, I think, is it the only support player whose card we've read in the past few days? I think it might be.
Yeah, one of the only few so far.
Yeah, one of the only few support, but we have Hubris on the, normally on the Zen, but over this turn, we've seen him a lot more on the Ana and Lucio. With you know, the classics, only 6k healing per 10, but that's not why Har is known for. It's mostly for his offensive assists and his eliminations per 10, which is what, almost 16 elims per 10 and 12 offensive assists with only 8 deaths per 10 minutes, which is still a lot for, you know, just a Zen player.
Yeah, putting in the work.
putting in the work with only 16 minutes played on Zen this entire tournament. But yeah, those stats are still something to be scared of. With only 16 minutes, he still managed to pump out like stats that rival almost every other support and I'd say even DPS player in this tournament. What did you say?
Yeah, really impressive stats, and we saw it in that map. Wasn't playing much Zen, but was still getting the picks with Ana and Lucio. With that nade onto the ulting Pharah to cancel it was huge, as well as all the putting them in spots that they didn't want to be. Really good offensive plays.
And honestly, from seeing Har play in things like tournaments, other tournaments and pugs, I really did expect to see the flank Yara over anything else. But I guess Har is not here to play; he is here to win. But I guess we'll see how that goes in the next upcoming fights, as both teams have switched sides. And let's see if we're ready for this next upcoming map on what Temple of Anubis. I see the council are going for the classic Darth strat of just going Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, that's an interesting map choice. We also have Pink Lions back in and Weeaboo out for this map, and looks like the rest of the match today.
I mean, Weeaboo yesterday playing for what was the Jazz Hands, I believe, right?
Yes.
Was absolutely popping off on the Widowmaker. But today, I guess they're putting up for the break, as he was only ringing in for Pink Lions. But Pink Lions is also a formidable Widow player. Over the past few tournaments, he's been a fellow teammate and a fellow enemy. But his Widow is definitely nothing to scoff. But yeah, as all the teams and casters ready up, I feel like we should be good to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis.
I mean, what are you expecting to see here coming up from the both teams? I mean, I know this is Darth's map, right? It is Temple of Anubis. He is the resident Pharah player. But yesterday we did see some off picks from Darth. What do you think?
No, I'm definitely feeling that the Pharah Mercy is going to come out here. So it'll have to be on Pink Lions to really counteract that. Very interesting map choice by the council. But it looks like we're going to see that that Pharmacy right off the bat.
Pharah Mercy with Gubs on his Hanzo pick, which over the past few days has proven to be quite worthy. I mean, his Hanzo is pretty much a hit scan at this point.
No, definitely hitting those shots.
Let's just call it a hit scan, because it's definitely not a projectile. With the way he shoots those logs, they're as fast as can be. But over from the side of the Hubris Hampters, they're running another Hog Ryan comp with A-side on the Genji and Pink Lions on his classic Widowmaker. But for once, we're actually seeing Harbor on his normal Zen, which might be something the council are not expecting.
Yeah, Darth's got to be careful with the Zen and the Widow.
Definitely, as both teams kind of make their way to their first little meeting here. The Hubris Hampters looks like they're trying to make their way into that right side mega room if we're looking at it from the defender's POV. Pink Lion trying to reach that top high ground, but a Cable already on him, and with the help of Darth, it looks like he is going to get taken out here, and falls he does to the capable hands of Darth Ackley. The rest of the council trying to make their way to that choke, but with the damage coming in, just a sheer amount of damage from Gubs and Darth Ackley, it looks like they're not going to be able to make it, as they kind of just get pincered in this small room. Kills coming in across the board for the council, and it looks like that's going to be an absolute wash of a first fight for the Hubris Hampters. Pink Lion swapping onto the McCree, and the tanks of the Hubris Hampters swapping onto a double bubble comp. What do you think is going to happen here in the upcoming fights, Cap? I really don't know. There's
going to be a lot of pressure on Gubs. That's going to be their dive target, remove that source of damage. But yeah, really good dive from Cable, pressure on that Widow.
And speaking of Gubs, he already, with damage juice coming in here from Khan, takes out Papaphobic, turning him pretty much into a firework. Well, a grounded firework, I should say, as he never actually left the ground. Well, the Dragon coming in here for Gloves gets the better of Pink Lions and forces A-side and Harbor into this small corner here, where both of them are going to be taken out. A-side here actually getting booped back from Cable, which allows him to get back to the safety of his team, where Ruby is able to apply a bubble onto him. But yeah, the Hubris Hampters are just kind of in this state of constantly being pressured of every situation they're in. But the barrage coming out here for Darth Ackley picks up Pavlovic, but in return, A-Side and Ruby are able to get the trades, picking off both the Pharah and the Mercy.
Yeah.
The Nano Genji coming out here, or the Nano Blade coming out here from the side of the Hubris Hampters, nullifying the Shatter, which was absolutely massive. What did it? It knocked 3 people down, just underneath the choke here. The Nano Blade, the damage in the Nano Blade is kind of coming in clutch there, just to assist with all those kills. But it looks like the Hubris Hampters have taken the first point.
Yeah, Drill put on a good show, good attempt there, but the Nano Blade was too much. They're putting a lot of pressure on Pavlovic, trying to get that main tank out of the way, Rep.
And they've been doing it pretty successfully as the window comes out here, and Darth Ackley is getting that nasty one-shot straight through the window onto Pink Lines. And with his official counter, I guess, gone, he makes his way straight into the skies, poking down at the Council. Yeah, speaking of Darth Ackley, he does take out Eviscerator and is now just, once again, as I said, they're putting all this pressure onto Pavlovic, which, as a Ryan player, just really kind of just hate to see it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The window coming out here just put all that pressure onto his shield. The shield was gone. Then he kind of just is forced to either back up or die for the rest of the fight. But yeah, 4 minutes left on the clock. And what do you see coming in here for the ults on both sides?
I've seen a lot. Everything except for the support ults on the Council side.
Yeah, on the Hubris Hampters, we pretty much have everything coming up. Like, Eviscerator, after coming back from spawn, should be able to build this Nano up pretty quickly. So they definitely have a few combos going up here, especially with the grab and the Nano Blade up.
Yeah, but that...
Sorry about that, you can keep going.
No, I was gonna say, that delay on an Eviscerator will buy time for some of those defensive ults to come up.
And yeah, speaking of those defensive ults, both DPS and tank ults up from the side of the Council, with the Cornet and Conda charging theirs up. And speaking of DPS ults, Darth Ackley going in early and getting 2 picks, completely destroying that any kind of a push they had there. Getting a 3rd onto Harbor. I mean, you said it. The pick onto Abyss, the little stagger onto Abyss, just kind of made it really hard for them to push in there, and so they just had to wait there. But while waiting, Darth was able to find a good position for a barrage. And this just is going to stagger them for longer, as the clock has ticked down from, what, almost 4 minutes down to just shy of 3.
Yeah, but they're coming in with a full 6-stack here, so we'll see what's good, how many Qs get pressed in this next fight.
I mean, yeah, 11 ults on the table here. The first one coming out from Gubs. A dragon splitting the side of Hubris Hampters in half. Pavlovic pushing out a bit too far, almost getting taken out with the beat coming out here from Harbor. The Nano of Eviscerator onto A-Side. A-Side Shatter off the ground, but still managing to get both Cornet and Gubs. Can he get a 3rd? No, he cannot. But the grab from Ruby ends up taking out Drillbit. The res from Khan with his 360s gets Cornet back on the field. And the fight's kind of reached a stagger state where Pinkline popping the high noon, getting Cable out of mech, but Cable able to pick the rest of his teammates from that said high noon. And it looks like the Council are in a good position to take this fight, but I'm not going to speak too soon. And a huge shatter from Pavlovic knocks 3 players onto the ground, and the members of the Hubris Hampters are cleaning house here. Cable coming back in for a recontest is going to be taken out of mech shortly here, and the rest of the members of the Council are just kind of making their way after fight, trying to get a few picks left and right just to be able to make this retake worth it. And as I say that, the Council members are cleaning house here on site. Not even a tick on point for the Hubris Hampters, and Ruby getting out barely with the skin of his teeth. What an interesting fight that was. But yeah, as you said, there's gonna be ults coming out here from both sides, and ults did come out there, but as well as a few swaps. So now it looks like they're not gonna have any ults. What do you think is gonna happen in this upcoming fight with very little ults to be seen on the table?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Pink Lions can get that high noon and put in some work without the Ryan's. Oh, and the Ryan's back now.
Yep. And both Ryan's kind of swinging away main on the choke, as the rest of the Hubris Hampters kind of just have to look for openings to build their ults. They have, as members of the Council pushing the point, Pavlovic with a shatter, but a huge block here from Drillbit. Pink Lions, high noon, Nano high noon main, getting a bunch of damage onto Drillbit's shield, and ends up getting him taken out. The members of the Hubris Hampters getting trades left, right, and center, and it looks like this 4v2 is gonna sway into the way of the Hubris Hampters as they make their way onto site once again. Staggers coming in here from the Council. The window down. Harbor getting taken out early in that fight. But this looks like a complete retake from the Council. But I don't want to speak too soon as the blade is out from A side, but the beat from Khan is going to be able to keep everyone alive. Ruby coming in here with a slam, unable to get much value from it. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Ruby's has to keep this point alive in overtime, but falls. Now, all the pressure's on Harbor to touch this point before the 0-second mark, but he cannot make it. What an insane retake there from the Council. Not letting him get a single tick on that second point. And quite honestly, I thought the Hubris Hampters had it there.
Yeah, huge work from Khan and Korn on the support duo, just to keep everyone just alive long enough to respawn to take effect. Drill a few times was dropped real low, but saved by Immortality Field, saved by Beat, and was able to block Shatters just with a sliver of health left. Really big, impressive work from Korn and Khan there.
Definitely, yeah. Like, if I was a support playing for the Counselor, I'd be stressed out of my mind. But as the hero selection is coming to an end here, we're gonna see what they're gonna be running on this attack here. But definitely a good choice from the Council, as you know, this is their map, right? If you see, you know, people will scoff at the pick of Anubis whenever there's like, oh yeah, the team's going to pick a map. No one ever expects the Anubis pick, but the Council seem to be using that to their advantage. But the Hubris Hampter here coming out with a double fly with A side on the Pharah and Pink Lions on the Echo, possibly just applying more air pressure. Maybe the need of a double hit scan on the side of the Council take him out, or maybe Gubbs with his hit scan Hanzo can deal with him. We're going to have to see. What do you notice anything special here than the double fly?
I was noticing this Moira pick. Darth is not going to be having a Mercy pick to pocket them. So they do swap off the fair, trying not to take that flyer out with just no Mercy.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard to be against a double fly with an Echo Pharah. Just as a solo Pharah with no Mercy. But as the gates open, the members of the Council are kind of making their way into this top right the attacker side at least, high ground, with the Mega Room. And a drill shield is getting scarily low, and it actually breaks. But the members of the Council are able to rotate safely, and that's all that matters. But all members of the Hubris Hampters are kind of just, you know, spreading out around that room to apply pressure from as many angles as possible. Cable flying up in the air to kind of nullify the effect of A-side on the Pharah, but is actually caught out of position, getting getting a huge anti on him, and he's taken out of that early. But the massive picks coming over from the hit scan Gubb himself. And oh my, the Council able to capitalize off those logs, cleaning health. I did not expect that to happen.
No, Darth went onto the high ground, break behind IC, and just put a little bit more pressure as Cable put it on as well. And IC was very close to Barrage. That pick, really huge.
I mean, I saw Cable going in for A-side, and I just didn't think he would be able to make it out. I mean, he didn't make it out, but you know what I mean, right? Like he lost his mech, but he was able to apply enough pressure to where Gubbs and Darth were able to take out A-side in the end. But now the Council kind of just pushing out this right side, and also on both sides of the board. But the Hubris Hampters have to hold this for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Or, I mean, this looks like a draw situation for them if they want to. But as I say that, the Dragon coming in here from Gubbs, completely zoning off Alphabet on one side of the point. As the barrage comes out here from A-side, but he ends up committing Sudoku on the shield of Drillbit. And Beat coming in here from Khan as the members of the Council storm onto point, Nano onto Papa just to keep him alive. You know, Pink Lions duplicating the Hanzo, build up his first dragon. Yugo Waga Tekiwa Kurao, Pink Lion screams as the dragons are raging onto the site. A-side on that Doomfist, taking out Darth Ackley with that 360 punch. But now it comes down to a 2v2 with respawns coming in from the side of the Hubris Hampters, just cleaning up the few remaining members of the Council. What plays there? The 360 punch was definitely something. I did not expect to see that, at least in a tournament like this.
No, really big plays on the retake. Importantly is trying to deal with that nano papaphobic. Korn and Khan both had to pop their ults early in that fight just to deal with that nano aggression. So didn't have it later on. But other than that, they have all their ults back.
I mean, yeah, on this series, both teams are building out their ults so fast. But yeah, but here we see Pink Lions almost getting taken out early as the aggression onto the anti-Gubbs might have gotten him taken out, but here both teams kind of just stabilizing as Darth in a bit of a flank position gets the TP off the high ground behind them. Looks like he's gonna drop in for a death blossom, and that he with a happening. Dragon Strike Death Blossom coming in here from the side of the council. Shatter coming in here from Drobit and Papaphobic. Oh my god, that was a nasty shatter coming up here from both sides. But it looks like the council were able to get the better of it. With 4.5 minutes left in the clock, the council take that win. Jesus Christ, what a match that was.
Yeah, way too much damage from those double DPS ults in the back line.
Okay, look at this. This is what we're talking about. Like, the aggression there for Cable just completely caught A-Side off guard, unaware of the Darth of the TP Reaper behind him, as Gobs is able to get the pick on the Eviscerator, and the rest of the council kind of just stormed onto site there. I mean, the council knew what they were doing with the pick on Hanamura, with the pick on Anubis, sorry.
That's how we do.
And look at it on the scoreboard. We have Darth with 66% kill participation. I mean, I get this is his map, but you know, sometimes you just gotta relax a little bit. Jesus.
Definitely making use of their map choice there into a favorable position and even up the series.
Yep, and now we're gonna be switching sides, and Hubris Hampter's yet to pick the next map. And I guess we'll see what happens here. But my God, that was an intense match right there. And without surprise, the Hubris Hampters have chosen King's Row. Honestly, kind of like a comfort pick, I'd say, for most teams, King's Row is, as you can run just about anything on it, and that linear type of playstyle on King's Row definitely helps to, you know, just, I don't know, it's just more of a everyone's favorite map type of deal. Like, no one hates King's Row. How do you hate King's Row?
You hate it when you get fooled by whether a cheeky sim or whatever else comes out.
I mean, hey, we always do like to enjoy a little bit of trolling.
Yeah.
But
don't go for it.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
I was gonna say we also remember a lot of trolling with the Great Bamboozle in the Overwatch League.
Oh, of course. I mean, a little bit of play like that came out yesterday, where Weeaboo actually was on the Junkrat on the start of their what was it? It wasn't King's Row. It was their Anubis map. Yeah. And then Weeaboo swapping onto the Widow later on and just picking off the members of the council, I believe it was, as their backs were turned. But I mean, we're gonna have to see some shenanigans. We definitely have to see some shenanigans pulled off on King's Row, whether it be boops or like, you know, TP strats. Something's gotta come out here on this map. And it's not the legendary map for nothing. What do you say?
Sorry, I missed that. I was responding to something.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. I was just saying, it's a legendary map for a reason, right? Like some sort of shenanigans, or like what's the word Har uses for shenanigans? There's a word for it.
No, I never heard him call it, but yeah, everyone loves this map. This and the winter version of this map, of course.
Of course. Personally, I actually don't like the winter version, just because a lot of the piles of snow make your head just a bit more visible, so you can't hide on a lot of the high ground on this map, which people don't actually realize. But
yeah,
it definitely makes a difference when you're trying to just hide in the backline for something like a C9 or for an easy first pick. But yeah.
Looking like the teams are ready, and we're going to get going into our next match.
Yep, definitely.
But yeah, this one is definitely changed the winter. Some people don't realize that Eichenwald actually cuts off a few Lucio spots when it changes to the Halloween one.
Really?
But King's Row is definitely a favorite among all Overwatch players.
I mean, what is there to hate about this map, right? It's a very linear fight style that allows for flanks, but the flanks are also, you know, they're really risky flanks, but they're it's just a very fun map to play on. Definitely never had any bad memories of playing on King's Row.
Yeah, and other than the tank duo, you can run a lot of different things. Most people run Ryan Zarya on this map for the tank duo.
It's known as a Ryan Zarya map, but to be quite honest here, you can run any strat on this map and it just works out fantastically. Like double bubbles it on this map, dives it on this map, you know, double shields it on this map. Like you can just about run it. You can even run like a ball hog on this map and it works out just really well.
Yeah, no, definitely adjust to your style.
I mean, speaking of adjusting to their style, the council here going for the monkey run. At least that's what they've locked in so far, which is gonna be an interesting pick. A side still on the Pharah, pink lines on the Mei, just to get that first early pick before the fight even starts, kind of ending the fight. But as the gates open, we're gonna see Darth Ackley on that Sombra, Khan on the high ground with Cable, but Gubbs is nowhere to be seen. Ooh, I think Gubbs is gonna wait this one out. as he is not moving in the back of spawn. But hopefully his Wi-Fi isn't out because he hasn't been moving.
I think it might be a little bamboozle.
Oh, it is a, oh, he's just waiting it out a little bit, but the wall comes out here from pink lines. Walls off Darth actually, there's nothing you can really do to a Sombra, as the members of the council kind of just funnel their way into this, into the hotel. But pushing out a hotel, a big anti from Harbor comes in onto Cable, almost gets taken out, but Papaphobic gets a pick onto Drobit with, you know, with Cable kind of being put on life support. Drobit had nothing to back up on once he got low. But Corn trying their best to get out alive here, as they do not make it. Two big Sagger picks coming out here from Pink Lions. A headshot onto the Baby Diva, and one more body shot onto Corn. Finishes that fight. That's where it started. Right back with the choke. I mean, I don't see many ults online, so I don't really know what the plan's gonna be here for this next fight, at least on the side of the council. But the Hubris Hampters are definitely just gonna be relying on the May to split someone up. But a huge anti coming out from Harbor, getting 3, Corn, Con, and Drobit. But both teams kind of just looking for an opening here, as the opening is found for the Hubris Hampters as Drobit goes down. Window coming out here from Eviscerator, and the Nano onto Papaphobic does get Pink Cable out of mech, and that will seal the deal for them in this fight. Khan pinned against the wall. He even surrendered, but I guess the Hubris Hampters don't show any mercy here.
No, for sure. And with half the time gone, you gotta be watching as some big ults come online from both sides.
I mean, Gubs, you know, swapping onto the Hanzo early last fight, already has the Dragon. The EMP is also being built here. But as I speak of the DPS ults, the Coalescence from Cornet is popping. The Council are making their presence known on point. A Dio Bomb coming out here from Cable as the Grav Barrage comes out from the side of the Hubris Hampters, but unfortunately does not get any value, as Papaphobic and Ruby Drobit and Cable just doing a great job keeping their team alive through that Grav. And not to mention the great immortality field coming out here from Corn. But you know, with 2 minutes left, the council managed to cap that point and now have 4 minutes for this upcoming Streets phase. What do you think is gonna happen in these upcoming few minutes? I mean,
Well,
I have a few ults online, but I don't really have a set in stone plan of what's gonna happen.
well, that was my plan. That EMP shatter.
Ults, and more ults coming out here from both sides, as Drillba is taken out of the fight by the Blizzard from Pink Lions. But honestly, a bunch of ults used. That was a EMP shatter, freeze, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
But somehow the freeze of Hubris Hampters does come out on top. I mean, Blizzard definitely a deadly ult. It does take like a second or two to charge, you know. But it definitely rivals ults like Graviton Surge and like Gravitic Flux in terms of actual you know, actual usefulness and ability to get kills with it. Like a real fight ending ult there.
Yeah, and locked up the EMP shatter.
Exactly. But the window coming out a bit early here from the side of the Hubris Hampters. He's trying to, I guess, stop this aggression. But the wall onto the high ground blocks Cable from getting out. What a huge play. Cable loses his neck early into the fight, and that might be it for this fight. But the council not giving up yet. The Dragon from Gubs coming out. Pressure applied onto Papaphobic as a nano is used on that Rhine just to keep him alive. Immortality coming out here from the council, but a massive slam coming in from the Hubris Hampters as, oh my, Pink Lions getting a freeze onto Drobit, not letting him block the shatter, and the entirety of the council was knocked down by that shatter.
Yeah, Nano Rhyme with shatter is just a rough time.
I mean, definitely, but like,
Unless you're the Rhyme.
Yeah. The plays coming out there. And as they're rotating off the top onto this high ground, what do you foresee coming into this next fight?
I really want to see Pink Lions get another wall like that. Cutting off Cable and blocking Darth Ashley's entrance was huge. So we'll see how they can do with the wall this time.
I mean, the council kind of just going for this really long rotation, which isn't a bad thing, honestly. With Darth Ashley and Khan still on cart, being able to contest the Pharaoh of A-Side. A-Side forced to back out, but a fight's kind of taking place a ways away from cart, near the end of Street phase here, as the freezing here for Pink Lions definitely gets the better of both Gubs and Corn, and taking out the mech of Cable actually. You know, a few picks coming out here from the side of the council, but honestly, it won't be enough, as the council members are just forced to back up. I mean, the council members have been judged in this case, as Darth Ashley barely making it out, as another huge wall from Pink Lions onto this high ground, just, you know, almost, you know, these walls onto the high ground are actually something I've never seen before.
Oh,
Once again,
no.
blocking off Khan from Darth Athlete, but the window coming out here from the Hubris Hampter side will also make a big difference. But, oh no. They LOS the barrage perfectly, and the Demon Bomb coming in from Cable also won't get many picks, but it does allow for the rest of the council trying to just get onto point and do damage, I guess.
Yes, I think Ruby and Harv were out of that fight, so despite some good effort, they were down 2 members going into it.
Quite honestly, the council used a lot of ults to get past that first little bit of Streets phase, and with four or five ults coming online, I don't foresee anything great coming out of this next fight. But you never know.
Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on Cable. They can keep Cable can eat one of these ults, that'll be huge.
And definitely, Khan popping the Valk? Oh, he did not. For some reason, it came up on the spectator preview that Khan popped his Valk and got it cancelled. But he is still alive and well. But the rest of the council members are definitely doing their thing, as Gubs and Darth getting their first opening picks. Drobit getting a pick on a Papaphobic. Nano out here onto Ruby. Ruby's trying his best just to stay alive and to build up maybe a grab for this upcoming fight. But all that's left of the Hubris Hamsters is Eviscerator, and he gets eviscerated, all puns intended.
Yeah, Cable saying, I don't need to eat ult if I kill the Pharaoh first. So eliminated that source of damage during the grab, so no barrage came out, which they allowed them to live through it.
Especially with those 2 opening picks on top of that, really making the difference there. Blizzard coming out here from the side of the Hubris Hamsters as the window from a Corn trying desperately to keep him alive, but Corn's also caught in the Blizzard, and the barrage from Asai just a cherry on top, finishing off the members of the council and putting that fight to an end. Asai getting the last little bit of boop damage onto Darth Athlete before he goes to that tactical reset, allowing him to get just a little bit more ult charge here. Oh,
I really thought that shatter from Gerald would turn that fight around, but the barrage came through and kept it safe for them. Drill hitting everyone else on the ground, but couldn't hit those flyers for the shatter.
Yeah. 40 seconds left. It seems like it could be the last fight, but with a huge anti coming here from Harbor, he might end it early. Also coming out here from both sides as the Dragon Window and Diva Bomb are used. Khan popping his Valk just to keep his team alive, but A-Side and Papaphobic don't agree with him, as heroes do die in this case, as the Hubris Hamsters are chasing those kills with 20 seconds left for the council to cap this final point of King's Row.
Yeah, going to be close if they can touch, but definitely have one more chance here. Let's see how they can make use of it.
And what do you see happening here? I don't really think the council members are going to have a chance to touch Cart here, as a Cable going in from that top little window, able to get the touch on the point, and the huge anti coming around to Drobit, allowing Papaphobic to get that shatter, and Drobit and Corn fall. Immort is out from the side of the Hubris Hamper just to keep their tanks alive and healthy, but the barrage from Darth says otherwise, as a few rockets don't seem very healthy to eat, but regardless, the council does fall. And that's round 1.
Yeah, Pink Lions in the back line came in with that shatter and eliminated half the healing, and also, crucially, they had to go for the res then under healer, so for a brief moment there was no healing going out, and they were just able to clean it up and hold.
Definitely. I mean, with very little time left in the bank, the counselors had to get their last minute touch in, but yeah, it didn't seem like it was gonna work. But speaking of bank, we have a few donations coming in here. As let me check it out. We have Shogun donated $123.75, which is absolutely insane.
Pog.
Exactly, Pog. All money does go towards the prize pot, which in the end is donated to what is it, 70% of the winning team's charity of choice, and 30% of the second place team's choice.
Exactly, and one of these teams winning this will be winning some of that pot pool, as they will at least finish second
I mean,
for
yeah,
the charity.
these are the semis, so one of these teams will end up at least getting 30%, I guess.
Oh, something going on in the spawn. What's going on over here?
Some kind of ritual going on the spawn side of Hubris Hamsters, as they are just, oh no, they're circling around the leaks, the classic strategy as we know it, from a little server called Fight Gaming, where, you know, we got the leaks out, But the ritual might be what helps them cap this first point here, as they're coming up with a fast presence already around the statue. And the Hubris Hampters kind of running an unorthodox comp with the Genji Mei, but not something I have not seen before. Darth on his classic Pharah with Khan on the pocket. A-side already in a good position to flank and get some poke damage in. But speaking of poke damage, Ruby takes out Gubbs, and Darth actually trades by getting a pick onto Pink Lions. The Hubris Hampters kind of forced to back up here with that huge res onto Gubbs, as they're down a player, and with that just sheer damage down, they might not be able to win this fight. But Pink Lions on their way back, and A-side is deep in the backline. Will he make it out? Yes, he will. But Anti coming out here from Harbor might be what they need to open up that fight. But it is not, as Darth actually wide open, but a massive 5k shatter coming out here from Popovic. I guess that spawn ritual might have made a difference, but Ruby says no as he cleans, or sorry, not Ruby, sorry, Cable says no as he picks off 3 of the remaining members on, I mean, what just happened there? Cable versus the world, and Cable came out on top with another pick onto Eviscerator. Post-fight, the entirety of the Hubris Hampter just going after Cable, but Cable does not fall. The respawns of the council have made it back onto point. Nano onto Papaphobic, and both teams having an OFC. And Nano also moving on to Drobit with the grab coming out here from Cable. Papaphobic falls, and so does Korn. But it seems like the council will have the upper hand in this trade. Gubbs getting a hammer kill onto A-side. That is unfortunate. Oh god, that's going to go into a horror montage if I've ever seen it. But, oh my.
Yeah, Cable turned that fire on. I was really impressed with Darkly building the ult in 45 seconds. But then Papaphobic did the same thing with the Shatter and just almost completely wiped the fight.
I mean, speaking of ults coming online, the window ult from Eviscerator here early, but it does not make a difference as Darth actually is poking up from the top, getting a few picks here from the blade from Pink Lions. I'm going to turn this fight around as he does get 2 picks, and the blade from A-side picks off Port, and Papaphobic swinging in the air, taking off Darth Ackley. You know, what's a rocket to a hammer? Especially a rocket hammer, I guess. But all that's left is this one poor turret from Gubbs, which ends up taking out Ruby. Oh my. Poor Ruby. But yeah, that was an amazing fight. Like, I have no words. Words are simply gone.
No, really good fight from both teams, but they're able to have the point with just a little bit of time left, and are now putting the streets here with some ults. Really big ones are the tank combo from Papa and Ruby.
Oh my, I'm really excited to see what's happening in this upcoming fight, as all the council have to bank on is this barrage coming out here from Darth. Which honestly might just be what's in this next fight. But enough with me babbling on about what I think's gonna happen. The fight is about to start as a wall comes out here from Pink Lions. Unfortunately not catching anyone, almost catches Drobit. But speaking of catching people off guard, the barrage from Darth Athlete does not, as Pink Lions swiftly takes him out. And picks something out from the side of Hubris Hampters as a nano Pink Lions just kind of freezing everything in his path on Mei. And A-Said getting a nasty 4K with a +2 coming out here from Pink Lions. We're only using, what, one ult that fight?
Yep, just the Nano.
Just the Nano. They were able to stabilize off just the big plays from A-Side and Pink. Pink killing Darth Athlete straight out of the sky before the barrage was able to get any value. But Papaphobic's shield was just praying for its dear life. But speaking of shields, Drobit
big
does not
counter.
have one. Drobit does not have a shield as Papaphobic just gets a nasty slam onto both the tanks of the council here. And it looks like they're going to be able to win this next fight. That's the end of Street Phase. Call it quick, 'cause now they have a 4-minute time bank coming into this last little point, as you know, the Hubris Hampters is going for this golden box of victory, which is not too far away. But the council are going to have to pull something out here as they swap Darth Athlete off the Pharah and onto the Echo here. And Khan is now on the Lucio. Khan, a very sleepy Lucio it seems, is already put to sleep.
That could be big.
And that could be big, but Khan's already back up, and the grab comes out here from the side of the Hubris Hampters. And with the barrage getting 3 picks, Darth actually getting one back onto A-Side, but that won't make a difference as the rest of the Hubris Hampters wipe the team. And that will be match point, with Pink Lions popping that post-match high noon.
Yeah, speaking of big, that barrage and grab was huge, taking out 3 players. Here's some big slams from Papaphobic. I wonder which one this one is.
Both Ryans put on a show, but Oh my, this is the freeze. Huge. That was just a huge amount of teamwork coming out here from the side of the Hubris Hampters. Like, I mean, the pink lands, the freeze just allowed Papaphobic to just go in so much more aggressively. But yeah, I mean, none of that would have happened if it wasn't for the amazing heals in this match. I mean, you can see that here, like, Eviscerator having a window of pretty much every fight with over 12k heals pumped out over that one match.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Azhar has some big slams coming out here from both sides. Definitely nothing to scoff at.
No, they were big ult and they were fast ult. They were building them really, really fast the entire time. I lost track of how many barrages Darf had before they swapped onto the Echo, but it was at least three.
It was too many. Oh god. But yeah, I mean, the next map is going to be onto the side of the council as both teams once again are switching sides. And honestly, I don't know what map choice they're going to have for this upcoming map. I think it's going to be an escort map, as Harp types out in the chat. But I definitely feel like we're going to have a short break here just before this next match. But yeah, we'll definitely come back with some action on what map will it be. Let's just get this in here.
They may be deciding among themselves.
Yeah. It sounds like they are having a sort of trouble deciding. I mean, this is but yeah, a bit of confusion going on here in chat, but I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, I think they're discussing themselves how to eliminate that fair. What escort map will give them the advantage here?
I mean, I feel like, you know, they're gonna need some time to think about it. I mean, while they're thinking about it, we should go on like a little bit of a short break here, and we'll see you guys back in what, like about 5 minutes? Sounds about right?
Sounds good. See you then.
Yep, see you guys then.
If you see me around like you used to in this city, hope that you think of all our memories. Never thought we'd end up back as strangers on the sidewalk. 'Cause I still think about before we said goodbye. You never left my mind, and now I'm wishing you would call me, call me, call me, like when we were falling, falling, falling. Love so far away, but now honestly, I'm wishing you would call me like you did last summer.
And we're back to the Overwatch for Charity tournament semifinals, match 4 or map 4 of this match. After that exciting Kings Row, Cool Ranch, how are you doing after that?
I'm getting goosebumps just watching. I mean, there were so many huge plays, and every single fight I've had to eat my words. I mean, it was Cable versus the world so many times, and Cable came out on top somehow. No clue.
Yeah, that's really big for them, and we're getting into this map with match point, where either they can hold on the council, or Hubris Hampter will take the win, go into the finals with a chance to win that pot, or at least the vast majority of it, for Sick Kids. While Hubris Hampter, while the council will be holding on and trying to get to map 5 and get that pot for UNICEF India, as we see the setup here on defense and offense.
Yeah, I mean, while we were on a break, though, we had some huge donations coming in. Weeaboo donating $17, and from the community MVP of the last tournament, Duck Funker Deluxe just donated $8.25. And oh my, just a second ago, a Vishvader fan club just donated $16.50. Amazing name. I love all these names. Nothing can top Duck Funker Deluxe from the last match, or from the last tournament. But here, coming into this tournament, as we speak, the members of Hubris Hampter on this attack already making their presence on point known, as they march their way onto point. But yeah.
Yeah, interesting setup here as we see the Torb Farah on defense.
I mean, yeah, it's not something you see every single day, but here on Rialto, definitely some interesting picks do come out. Rialto, not a particularly liked map, at least for me, but a lot of people do end up enjoying this map. But speaking of enjoying this map, Hubris Hampters are having a time absolutely wiping the council off this first point. Oh my, not a single casualty on the side of the Hubris Hampters so far, as they just cash that cart straight in.
Yeah, really big nano, really big fight all around. Both of the support ults were used really early and built really early, so.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, I don't even know what's happening here. But just before the payload reaches the end, oh my, oh no.
Topophobic with another huge slam.
Not again. I look at the time in the bank, 4 minutes and 15 seconds, or 50 seconds, sorry, almost 5 minutes. That's an insane amount of time for the entirety of second point. But I mean, speaking of time banks, in the bank, Dr. Ice just tipping $24.75, which, again, absolutely amazing. This is all going to an amazing cause. You know, all money goes to charity, and remember, all 50 plus of the players playing this tournament have all donated to the prize pot, which will be going into the winning teams and the second place team's favor. But speaking of bank, the council have definitely reversed this. I have to hold this for, what, another 4 minutes? But using the amount of ult they built off that first point, they're able to completely wipe the Hubris Hampters off of point. I mean,
yeah. That's a good way to start with a big slam from Drill, but after put all the pressure on the Papophobic, they removed that shield, and they were able to hit that huge slam on 4 members.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Both Reinhardts in this match just absolutely going off with those shatters. Window coming out here from Khan, but a massive anti from Harbor gets 4 anti. But oh, that's so unfortunate. The barrage coming in here from A side gets swiftly taken out by Cable on the Diva. Both Farahs now down, as the Hubris Hampters do seem like they're coming out on top in this fight. Not many picks are coming out from any side, but the sheer amount of pressure is forcing them back up. But the grab from Ruby says no, as Papophobic swinging through, absolutely pulling a Mayweather and just smacking and slashing at all of these enemies in the grab. I mean, oh, that kill feed looks satisfying. Just seeing Papophobic all in a straight, just seeing Papophobic's name appear in a straight line. Definitely amazing to see.
1 swing, 3 kills there. But also really importantly, Pink Lions picking up Dark Athlete twice in the fight. Once before the res and once right after.
Yeah, I mean, but look at this. Dark Athlete is now swapping to the Sim. But the Bob coming up for Pink Lions, taking a little nap on by the spawn of the defenders here. The Bob back up, and the Shatter down from the hammer down from Papaphobic. Catches 4 people once again. Shatter from Drill not getting any value. I don't know if it was blocked or if it got cancelled there. So I did not even hear the hammer down. Another window coming out here from Khan. That's like the 3rd or 4th one just this round. And it allows Gubs to get that early pick on a Papaphobic. The entirety of the Hubris Hampters opting to go around the right side and to face the council at an off angle, and that does end up working as both Eviscerator and A-Side getting 2 pick seats, and Nano comes out here onto A-Side. Drobit also nanoed, but a little bit of a nap here as another huge anti from Harbor coming out. Darth actually really low here on life support. Does manage to take out, with the help of Drobit, does manage to take out A-Side. And the members of the council coming back here from their respawns are able to recapitalize.
Yeah, I just want to go back. I just want to go back to that shatter that you were talking about. Drill actually hit 4 people with the shatter, but it was canceled out by Papaphobic, knocked down the same number of people on the opposite team. So there was no one left standing after those 2 Ryan shatters.
Jesus, I said this once, I said it again. The shatter game is on point this match. I've never seen anything like it. But now the window coming out here from the side of the Hubris Hampters and the wall from Darth Athlete to counter it. But the wall actually almost breaking the sheer amount of damage coming from the window. Most people don't notice, but you can actually break the sim wall with enough damage.
Yeah, 5,000 health.
Yeah, and they almost got it down. Absolutely amazing. But the members of the Hubris Hampters making their way onto cart, but not really being able to break this like choke type pressure they have going here from the council. Bob does come in here from Pink Lions, gets slept once again, and sleeping also is Drobit on the Reinhardt. Grab coming out here from Cable, not getting much value, but right after the grab, Pink Lions going huge, getting 3 picks, and A-Side getting another 3. A 3+3 coming out here for the Hubris Hampters as they will cash this cart in right to the bank.
Yeah, that was a huge grab from Cable, but Eviscerator with a lamp to keep the entire team up. And then they got the picks right after it. So huge lamp to answer that grab.
I mean, definitely. But like, without that lamp, I don't know what would have become of the Hubris Hampters. But the Pink Lions just in that grab, still being able to fire off those shots, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, absolute trust in the supports and the tanks there. Just to not worry about anything else, just keep putting those shots in and getting those 2 picks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, every single player in this match so far has been performing so well that it's just so unpredictable. I mean, I saw a 3K come in from Pink Lions, and then I look back up at the kill feed, and there's 3 more down from A-Side. You know, Shatters coming in from both the Ryans, amazing job. 6K grabs, it's pretty much from both sides. I don't think any grab, there's never been a small grab in this entire series so far. Oh my.
No, and the supports are answering every single one of these challenges with their the best of their abilities. So many big ults that we talked about, big plays, have to be answered by these supports that are playing out of their minds. Really good plays all around, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, oh my. And as we roll to this next round, we have pretty much the same comp, I'd say, coming from both sides, except with the exception of Darth Athlete now on this Reaper.
Yeah,
but will that make a difference? We'll see in this upcoming fight.
Yeah, not wanting to deal with Pink Lions on the ass, so we're trying to go for that Reaper, a little bit more grounded.
I mean, yo, Pink Lions is a former teammate. I have to say, he is one nasty hit-scan player. But getting back into this fight, we see the council kind of just taking it slow here, slowly making their way onto the point and just kind of working their way around with the cart. Not much space taken from either side here, as it's kind of this neutral fight of building ults. The shields of both Ryans are extremely low, but Papaphobic goes in swinging, and unfortunately has to lose his life because of it. The lamp from Visser is coming out a second late, but Gubs did not let Papaphobic get any swings in. But the entirety of the council are still forced to back up here. I mean, like, you know, Papaphobic might be down, but Pink Lions building up a bomb in what, 40 seconds?
Less. They were hitting some huge dynamites, and that allowed them to stabilize.
And speaking of hitting shots, Gubs comes in here with an early pick onto Pink Lions, and the window down from Corn will just secure them a huge amount of space. Immortality already up from the Hubris Hampters, and oh my god! the Ryans will not calm down. Drillbit with another huge shatter. A-Side pulled up the blade and Gubs with the dragons. Both the Shimada brothers going off. It's just A-Side versus the world, and the world does win this time. Cable always win those clutch matchups, whether it be a 1v1, a 2v1, or even a 3v1, as we've seen before. But Cable pushing up, now taking a bit of a nap here, you know. I'd say I would be a bit tired too after getting kills like that. But now back on his feet. Oh.
Pause coming in from Harbor, who realized that they were in charge of the lobby.
Ruby needed a pause, and then you know, I mean it is hard. Oh, Pink needs a restart. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, this has happened in the past before as well. We've seen Pink's line's PC just kind of not be what's the word? Not very poggers. And but yeah.
So if it's going to be a long pass, this Pink needs a reset. Oh, we're never run. They're all good.
His game froze. I feel like it just fixed itself, but...
Sounds good, and here we are. We're going back in.
Yeah. Back on the road we go, and on the streets phase of Rialto. Both teams at a stalemate, just going for this last 1 meter of cart push. So it looks like the Council are going to come out on top, as the pick on the Papaphobic is early, and might just spell doom for the side of the Hubris Hampters, as A-Side is fast to follow, first quick to follow.
Yeah, I can't...
With the aggressive teleport, taking off one more. Pink Lions just trying to get out with their life, but Darth Athlete does not agree with him.
Yeah, I thought about it a lot, but Korn keeping Drillbit alive there was super important, as Drill went down to less than tick, and Papa had that shatter ready to go. So Drill went down there, could have shattered, and hit another huge slam, but Korn keeping Drillbit and the shield alive.
And here, seeing this upcoming team fight, all stacked from both sides, and we know the teams aren't ones to hold on, because Papaphobic being the one to initiate with that massive shatter once again. I mean, dude, I cannot figure out these big slams, as Darth Athlete cannot either, as him and Korn just decide to exit the fray on their own command. But yeah, the window does come out from Eviscerator, but unfortunately, the Hubris Hampters just, you know, don't feel like it today.
Yeah, there has to be
coming out of that window, and they decided to just end it themselves.
Yeah, there has to be another way of saying base slam, but there really isn't. These are just massive slam coming from these Rhymes, as they have a massive loop going here.
If ours in the lobby, they're all big slams. They're talking about big. Darth Athlete with that huge 3 carry bro, taking out the lamp, and it looks like the Hubris Hampers are just gonna fall. Fall like dominoes they do, one after the other, with that huge opening blossom coming out here from Darth. I mean, my god.
And critically, that and the grab that enabled it were the only ults used. So they still have 4 going into this last push.
Yeah, 4 ults in the bank on the side of the Council. I mean, what do the Hubris Raptors really have here? I mean, speaking of ults, both the portals from the Council already out, the Rally and the Window. Bob with the Bob and Nano Barrage from the side of the Hubris Hampters, taking out 3. Gubs gets 1 pick, tries to receive out the Dragons, but unfortunately will not be enough, as he is the only member of the Council left. And the judgment has been passed, but this time onto the Council.
Yeah, Gubs was able to kill that, kill the Pharaoh, but unfortunately it was after they've already killed most of the team. Drillbit with another big slam, canceled out by that barrage, killing so many people.
I mean, a Nano Barrage is definitely something to be scared of. You do not mess with those. And speaking of, you know, messing with people, we have the Council just kind of like slowly poking in with this next fight. Nothing big really coming out, but Drobit kind of alone here on the ground, now being joined by both Korn and Khan just to help him out, but Cable, unfortunately, alone with Gubs on the top stairs, gets taken out of mech. And Vivi Diva is taken out as well. Oh, what a nasty double flank onto A-Side, as both Darth and Gubs get 1 shot in, taking out the poor Pharah. And now picks coming in here from the rest of the Hubris Hampters, just kind of cleaning up on Gubs and Gubs and Darth's efforts, and that'll. Wait, what just happened?
A lot of damage came in through the supports there, and Pink Lions, and Papaphobic as well. Solo slamming Korn just to get that kill onto the Baptiste and remove that healing.
I mean, I saw that the Council are in a really good position to win that fight, but within the time of like a second, I just saw the kill feed light up in all red. I mean, this spells doom for the council, as now they're gonna have to push this up to this last point. 40 seconds left on the clock, just give or take, I guess. But there's not much they can do here as they're stuck in this little top room, not getting any presence on cart, as Cable is the only one and is forced to back up already. A big winner coming here from Corn and on top of the belt. But unfortunate. The slam from Drobit does not get any value here, as he does fall short right after. Gub's absolutely a menace, taking out 3 with the bob. And Cable in that final pick on the big line. But Darth Ackley with that post-fight barrage slept hastily though. But this fight is kind of just taking a really slow change. I mean, the Hubris Hampters are playing this really well and just kind of slowly but methodically taking apart the council. And that wasn't that slow as the grab nano barrage just wipes the entirety of the Hubris Hampters off cart, or the entirety of the council off cart.
Yeah,
what a game!
Yeah, what a match! Like Pink Lions just dodged that slam and was able to get Bob out, which kept them alive, and then that grab nano barrage just completely ended the fight.